lay yourself down on your yoga mat and you're going to bring both knees in towards the chest. So take your feet off the ground, and as you hold onto the knees, gently sway side to side, and you're just looking to massage the back into the floor. So I'm feeling really tight in the hips today, so I'm choosing for the knees to be a little bit wider apart, but you can keep the knees together if you want to. And then from here, I'm going to find my center, interlace the hands around this left leg, and then extend the right leg out there in front of you. So just try to remember to keep this right leg in a lump with the right hip and the left knee drawing up towards the left shoulder. So you don't want it in your center line. Breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. Then you're going to change sides, so hook onto this right leg now and do the same now with this left leg extending out in front of you. Make sure you're breathing. And then we're going to take both knees in towards the chest once again, big squeeze and hug, and then let the feet rest. So I just want you to take the palms of the hands that face the ceiling, let the hands rest down by the sides of the body. And close the eyes if you haven't done so already. Allow the eyes to go nice and heavy down into the back of the head. And we're going to take 3 breaths. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. And last one, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. So we're going to slowly lift the legs up towards the sky and just rotate around the ankles. So any tiredness in the legs, in the feet even, try and iron that out. You can also point and flex the feet. All right, so we're going to roll ourselves up to come to a seated position, and you want your feet about, I'd say, shoulder width apart. You can go as wide as a yoga mat if you really want to, and I like to keep the knees bent like so. Now I've got the left hand is behind me, fingertips pointing away, and start lifting the hips up. And you can either stay right here or you can carry on reaching this right arm overhead into a back bend. All right, then you're going to come out of it by sitting yourself back down, and you're going to change sides. So I've got right hand behind me, fingertips pointing away, start lifting the hips up and reach up and overhead with the left hand. So it's optional about how, how high you're going with this one, lower down. So I do have students in classes that are just kind of lifting a few inches away from the floor, and that's absolutely fine. You build it up. All right, so I'm going to keep switching now. All right, and it's absolutely fine if you're choosing to go a little bit slower than me, perhaps a little bit faster, that's okay. But just make sure it's, quality of movement here rather than, the idea isn't to try and, bang out as many reps as you can. All right. So I hope you're breathing. I can hear the tea sloshing around in my stomach. Great. Does anybody else ever have that when they do yoga? You can hear like stuff going on in the belly. Shouldn't have had that green tea. So we're going to join the soles of the feet together now. Let the knees drift out to the sides. Hold on to the legs. Sit yourself up nice and tall, and then you're going to slowly forward fold down. So make sure that you get this nice opening here in the lower back. I'm really feeling it in the hips and inner thighs today. So this one, I'm feeling it. How are you doing? Slowly come all the way up, and you're going to go onto all fours. So bring the legs through and round and spread the hands out nice and wide. So we're going to come next into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes underneath, start lifting the hips up, roll your shoulders away from your ears, make sure your neck is super long. And we're going to take a nice walk on the spot and alternate between bending and straightening out the legs. So every time a thigh is coming in towards you, your thigh, not someone else's, you want to make sure that your chest and heart is trying to move towards that thigh. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to bring both knees down towards the floor, relax the toes and press them deep into the mat, and then start moving into cat and cow. So what you want to make sure is that you move from not just like the nod of the head, but the pelvis as well. So rounding the spine on that cat stretch, allowing the head to move downwards, the tailbone to move towards the backs of the knees. Then when you're in cow pose is to lift the sit bones up and the chin up as well. So take your time just ironing out the spine, and then again you're going to come into a nice neutral spine, lift up into your downward facing dog, roll the shoulders back, and then start walking the feet towards the back or walking the hands forwards into plank pose. So tailbone towards the heels, set your shoulders away from your ears, and you want to make sure your shoulders are above your wrists. Push from the toes, Chaturanga Dandasana down, and an extra push coming up into Cobra. Roll the shoulders back, let the heart radiate through the arms. Try not to crease the forehead, soften the face and the gaze a little bit there. And again, go into downward facing dog. Alright, so again, find plank pose. If you need to bring the knees down first for Chaturanga, that's absolutely fine. You could be in full plank push from the toes, Chaturanga Dandasana down, extra push. Ta-da, into your Cobra. And we're going to do that one more time. Make sure you're breathing. Plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana down. Cobra rising. Next up, child's pose. Just take a moment here. And you can flip the palms of the hands over with like an extended child's pose with the arms, or perhaps you want to massage around the wrists and the forearms in case you're feeling it, all right? So make sure you do that. Keep the wrists happy. So come up onto all fours when you're ready. Now what you're going to do is you're going to be taking your right toes out towards the side, left foot towards the back, and then pivot the back heel down. So now we turned out to the side, and you should have left hand coming upwards towards the ceiling. Now if you want to, you can reach the left arm up and over, which is a nice mild side stretch, and then lift this left foot off the ground. Keep pushing away the floor. Breathe. See, it's not too bad. And then you're going to come down with that foot, down with the hand, and over towards the other side. So take your left toes out towards the side, right foot towards the back, pivot the back heel down, right hand up. Lengthen your tailbone towards the back heel, so don't push your bum out and lose your core, okay? Then you're going to reach the right arm up and overhead. And then you're going to lift this right foot off the ground. Keep pushing away your mat. So it's a really, good, strong one here for the core. Doesn't look like it is, but it is. And then take everything back down. Nice job. Now things are going to change, where you're going to take the right toes out towards the side, left foot towards the back, pivot the back heel down. And we're not taking that side stretch. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to lift the left hand up. Then I'm going to lift the left foot off the ground, and this time I'm going to bring the knee, the left knee, in towards the chest, or imagine that it's trying to come up towards like your shoulder, and then you're going to kick it back to where it came from. All right, so try that a few times. Don't worry if the knee is low for now, that's okay, but do your best to try and lift the knee and the inner thigh nice and high. All right, just see how you get on with this one. And I find that the glutes even can feel this too. So again, it doesn't look like it's much, but yeah, you have to work hard with this one. All right, so we're going to go over towards the other side. Ta-da. Come down. So we've got left toes out towards the side, right foot towards the back, right arm up, and we lift the foot, bring this knee in towards the chest, and with control, sorry about the hip click there, then bring the knee in, bring the foot back. Expand the chest. Try not to look down at the floor because that will round your shoulders. So try and look out towards the side and get your shoulders to stack one on top of the other. All right. So, hope you're okay. Now we're going to take that foot down and come back onto all fours. Into your downward facing dog. up really high to the balls of the feet, and walk the feet forwards towards the hands. So your feet, are hip distance apart. Bend your knees if you want to, and let the body and the arms hang down nice and heavy. Nice deep breaths. Give everything a bit of a wriggle to get lower down, get comfortable. Soften the face and the jaw muscles, and move away from any pressure to straighten out the legs. You don't want to be pulling on these hamstrings or anything crazy like that. Where you are right now is great. It's where you're meant to be. We're going to take hands to shins and inhale, lift up halfway. And then on your exhale, forward fold back down. So again, hands to shins. Push away from the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhaling to lower down. And again, inhaling to lift up halfway. Exhaling to lower down. Now we're going to bend the knees, drop the arms nice and heavy, and rise up to standing. Make sure your back is nice and rounded, and then finally as you stand up, roll the shoulders back, reach the arms up, and bring the hands to come down to chest and heart center. So you want to be somewhere at the head of your yoga mat. Alright, and this is where I will grab my yoga blocks so they're at the ready. I always if I'm doing like my stand-up postures and practicing vertically, then I will tend to put them at the head of my yoga mat. They're nice and ready. Feet hip distance apart, lengthen your tailbone down towards the heels, bring the hands to come to prayer, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach the hands up. On your exhale, soften the knees and forward fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale to forward fold. Bend through the knees and step back with that left foot going into low lunge. So hands on the floor or hands onto blocks, whichever works for you. Rock backwards and forwards, side to side. You can even, you don't have to just stick to a lunge. Warm up just a little bit. And then when you're ready, we're going to lower the back knee down towards the floor and rise up. So you can either have hands to hips, one or both hands up towards the sky for a low crescent. Remember to press that front foot deep into the mat. Lift up, not just through the fingertips, but also up through the hips slightly as well. This will really help protect your lower back. You want the legs to be nice and strong all the way through this. And then from here, we're going to slowly take the hands down and shift the weight back into Ardha Hanumanasana. So what you can do is you can flex this front foot. I like the hands, or the blocks in this case, underneath the shoulders. And if you feel like you're sitting back on this foot, I want you to shuffle that front foot forwards just as had. Then I'm going to start adding in my forward fold down, bend those elbows, breathe. Shoulders you can roll those away from the ears if you feel like bad habits are starting to happen because you're sitting behind the desk all day or you're lifting heavy things. And I like to inhale, lift up halfway, and then exhale to forward fold back down. All right, so I don't tend to do loads and loads of them, but I tend to do about 3 of them. And whenever I offer them in classes, everyone's doing them, so I'm guessing they're of help. All right, now we're going to change sides. So I rebend into that front knee, step forward. You can kick the left leg up if you want to, and then step forwards into Uttanasana once again, into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhaling to forward fold down, bend through the knees and step back with the right foot. Again, feet hip distance apart, knee just above this front ankle or heel, and then rock backwards and forwards. Maybe you're taking the back knee down, maybe you're twisting to the side, all that stuff. All right, then lower the back knee down, rise up, hands to hips maybe, and then play around with your low crescent. So I kind of imagine that there's a beach ball in between the palms of the hands. Then I'm trying to reach up towards the sky and back, and lift the chest, lift the chin slightly as well. Keep pressing that front foot deep into the mat. Slowly take the hands down, shift the weight back. Remember to walk your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. And if you're sitting on this back heel, shuffle that front foot forward. You want your hip above this back knee. And then I'm going to add in my forward fold. So inhale to lift up, straighten out the arms. Exhale, lower down, bend those elbows. Again, inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. So I'm going to do one more of those. Then I'm going to come up, re-bend into the front knee, walk those hands forwards, kick that right leg up towards the sky, and then set it down into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to forward fold, bend through the knees, drop the arms, keep the spine nice and rounded, and roll up, rise up to standing. Roll the shoulders back, reach the hands up, and then finally bring the hands to come down to prayer. Nice job. So now's a good opportunity to grab some water if that's what you want to do, because you're not coming straight away into a forward fold. All right, probably a good opportunity to adjust any yoga clothing that you want to as well. So we should be, you can be anywhere in your yoga mat for this one. You're going to come into chair pose next and use that as a way of coming into warrior three. All right, so you want your feet hip distance apart. When you start bending the knees and lowering down like I am, I really want you to press your weight into your heels, and you can almost sort of lift your toes off the ground and pull your knees and your shins back and squat down via your strong legs and not by rounding your back. All right, so whenever you're ready, I like to bring the hands to clasp, but you can have the arms in front if you want to. Big breath in. On your exhale, lowering down into your chair pose. All right, you're going to rise back up to standing again. And then again, coming into chair pose. Now what you can do is simply go from mountain pose here and down into chair, or you can come up and come up onto the balls of the feet. So you stand really tall and then come down into chair pose instead. All right. So make sure that you don't waste either of the movements, whether you go down here into your squat or up here to standing, because both of them are really good for your ankles, for keeping up with, your strength and your mobility. So if you're really keen on running or jogging, this one is really good as well. Okay, so rise back up to standing. Just shake things off and have a little breather. And what you're going to do next is you're going to bring your right knee up from standing, okay? So you might want to find a speck or something on the wall that you can spot to help you with your balance if you ever struggle with this. And I tell a lot of students, don't feel with the hands, maybe just keep hands to hips and make sure all your balance is, think about it coming from your core rather than just your standing foot. All right, so hands to hips might help you a little bit, and shift a little bit of weight to the left and you're bringing this right knee up. So the trick is to try and keep this right knee in alignment there with the hip. The moment you lift the hip up, that's when you're going to stack it to the side. So we're going to change legs. Left knee up. And I'm going to change sides again. But this time I want you to get used to this part. Bend through the standing leg and set your right knee back or facing downwards towards the floor. So keep bending into this left knee. Then come up to standing. Whoa. And then we're going to change sides. Left knee up, bend into the standing leg. Start angling your body forwards and take your left knee back. Then rise back up and you're going to change sides and do the same again. Right knee lifts, bend through the left knee, take that right knee back, angle your chest and heart forwards. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Left knee up, bend through the right knee, set the knee back, angle your chest and heart forwards. You can go a lot lower into your squat if you want to, and then raise back up. All right, so now what's going to happen is you're going to carry on that extension, and that's going to take you into your warrior three. All right, are you ready? Standing nice and tall in mountain pose. Hands to hips if it helps. Right knee lifts. Bend through this left knee. Start taking this right knee back, I'm so sorry. And then angle the chest and heart forwards, and finally straighten out this right leg. Come back up and down. So I'm not gonna lie, it's quite hard having to sort of talk and focus really hard on the posture that you're doing and not falling over whilst demonstrating. But you get the idea. So you've got left knee lifts up, bend through the standing leg, angle your chest and heart forwards, and as soon as that chest and heart is forwards and pretty much parallel to the ground, then I'd be kicking back this left leg, bringing it back up again. Do it a lot more elegantly than I did. And then we're on to the other side. Right knee lifts up, bend through the left knee, angle chest and heart forwards, and you should be coming into warrior three. All right, so try and think about it stemming more from the core. Switch sides, left knee up, forwards with the body, back with the leg, into your warrior three. All right. So if you feel like you want to try different arm variations, it might be that you're taking both hands up when you lift the knee, and then when you're taking the leg back, then take the arms back to follow the toes. All right. So you can try that one too. That one can look really nice as well. So I've got the left knee lifted, angle chest and heart forwards. I'm going to keep that in. I'm not going to edit out mistakes. No way. We're all human, okay? So I'm going to do one more on each side. Right knee is lifted. Finding that warrior three. And I'm going to go one more on this side. Left knee coming up. Bend through the standing leg. And that's the thing, when you're breathing, you're relaxed. Not relaxed in a way that, you're just kind of vegging out, the same as you would be if you were chilling on your sofa. But, when you've got this sort of relaxed mentality that you're not putting loads of pressure on yourself, it certainly works better for me when I'm not putting all this pressure on myself. I just get the best from myself, my yoga practice, whichever way you want to see it. All right, so whenever you're ready, we're going to come down into forward fold. All right, so coming to mountain pose, and inhale, reach the hands up towards the sky. On your exhale, forward fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale to forward fold. Bend through the knees, plant the hands, and step back into downward facing dog. Roll the shoulders away, let the neck be nice and long. Walk the feet towards the back. Plank pose. Push from the toes. Chaturanga Dandasana down, and extra little push to push the yoga blocks out of the way. Coming into Cobra. So push back so that way you are on all fours. Now I'm definitely going to move my yoga blocks out of the way. I don't really need them for this next part, but you can use them if you want them nearby. Alright, so I'm on all fours, and we're going to go back into that side plank variation that we were in previously at the beginning of the class. So you want to make sure you've got shoulders above wrists and hips stacked above the knees. We're going to be taking the right toes out towards the side, left foot towards the back, pivot the back heel down, and it means left hand is up towards the sky. Now we lifted the leg up, we brought the knee in, but now what's going to be different is that we're going to be taking this left hand to hold onto this left leg or even the big toe, all right? Now excuse my foot there in your face, but we're going to slowly see if we can straighten out this left leg out in front. Then you're going to rebend the knee and take it back, all right? So do that again. Bring the knee in, hook so the arm is underneath the leg, and then kick it out in front. So I don't care if this is your starting point right here or if it's somewhere here with the knee bent, all right? I want you to do this with me, okay? And in time, this leg will straighten more and the leg will get higher, all right? So we're going to go on to the other side. Yeah, I'll change sides, but you don't have to, just so that I can, I wish I could see you. But yeah, just so that you might be able to see a little bit better. So I've got left toes out towards the side, right foot towards the back, pivot the back heel down, and then open up, right hand up towards the sky. Lift the leg up, the right leg, and then you're going to bring the knee in towards you. Take the arm underneath the leg and hold onto the ankle or big toe. And do your best, straighten out this leg. Navel to spine. push the heel forwards. Return it. And do that one more time. Bring the knee in, arm goes underneath, and extend. Okay? And down. Relax. Maybe take a child's pose. Maybe you're rolling around the wrists. Maybe you're just taking some nice deep breaths. Okay? And this time what's going to happen is you're going to do exactly the same again, but you're going to see if we can take the foot forwards into Crescent Lunge. My mind went blank. Into Crescent Lunge. She got there in the end. Okay, so go onto all fours. Shoulders above wrists, hips stacked above knees. Right toes out towards the side. Left foot towards the back. Pivot the back heel down. Lift the leg up. Bring the knee in. Same hand onto same foot or toe. And I've got the arm underneath the leg. Reach it forwards. Look towards the head of your yoga mat. And slowly, and that's key, bring this left foot down. All right, so you take it from out to the side, all the way down. And let this right foot kind of come back to its original position. All right, then you can shift your weight forwards into low lunge. So if it's not quite where you want it to be, just tidy it up and then reach your arms up into Crescent Lunge again. All right, so remember those points of pushing away your yoga mat with the front foot, reaching chest and heart up, making sure the core is nice and strong, lift up through the pelvic floor muscles. To reverse this, fingertips come down and shift your weight back. We were in this pose earlier in Hanumanasana. So you want to straighten out this front leg. Right hand just underneath the shoulder, so you don't want it miles away, otherwise it's not going to work as well. Keep hold of the leg or onto the foot. I think I prefer tucking the back foot and then bring it out to the side once again, all right? Then towards the back and back down onto all fours. Yay! So I'm going to go over towards the other side for you guys. Okay, so we've got all fours, left toes out towards the side, right foot towards the back, pivot the back heel and open up. Right hand up towards the sky. Lift the leg, bring and invite this knee in, arm goes underneath the leg and kick it forwards. Look towards the head of your yoga mat and slowly take the foot down. Turn it into a lunge of some sort. Doesn't have to be like mine. Put your own stamp on this. Remember, you're practicing me for yourself, not for me. And then, of course, to come out, bring the fingertips down, shift your weight back, straightening out this front leg. Set the left hand underneath the left foot. Tuck the toes of that left foot as well, getting ready to open up, kick it back, and bring it back down. Yay! And the great thing is if you were like, I'm just not getting it now, rewind a few minutes ago and come back into it. It's when I'm teaching this face to face, like not everyone's like getting it straight away. It can take them a few attempts, but if you did it in one attempt, you should be really happy with yourself, okay? So we're going to bring the legs around, through and round, so we're in a seated position. All right, and we've got both legs out in front of us. We're going to reach this left leg in and open up through the hips. So you should have the sole of your left foot brushing the inside of this right thigh. Now we're going to shift our kind of, I was going to say weight, but it's nothing to do with that. Shift our body to face this front leg, this right leg. And what I want you to do is, I don't want you to round the spine and try and find your toes. I want you to work hard on trying to sort of emulate that cow pose. So imagine when you're doing cat and cow, that this is your cat stretch where you're rounding your back. But here I want you to emulate more of cow pose. So try and lengthen through the base of the spine, all right? And that's where you want your fold to come from, here, this hip crease. So as you start moving forwards, this is where you can, most people, including myself, can feel like, oh, it's already a little bit challenging just coming into this. So try not to lead with your chin, just try and, again, take away that pressure, relax your way into it. Soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. And, whether you're up here or you're all the way down, doesn't matter at all. Nice deep breaths. If you can find your foot, good for you. If not, don't worry about it. And you can always, interlace the hands around or beyond the foot. which can be really nice as well. Close the eyes. Assess where you're leaning. Are you leaning a lot towards the left-hand side? Can you shift a bit of weight towards the right-hand side to make it a little bit more balanced? Keep drawing navel to spine, making sure that the crown of the head is moving forwards. Then you're going to slowly come up and we're going to change sides. Left leg comes forwards, right leg folds in. Again, make sure your body is facing this front leg, this left leg, so you don't want your body facing out to the side at all. Try and lengthen through the base of the spine. Can you see how I kind of wriggle there on the sit bones, trying to get that base of the spine nice and long. Start to lean forwards. So I used to really rush into my postures thinking that the goal was for me to always kind of find the finished, the polished pose. And yeah, those days have gone. So enjoy coming into them. You know, you can see I'm moving really slowly with full awareness of, you know, what I'm doing. And if, you know, signs of like your leg shaking, your knee shaking, these are warning signs of you're putting too much pressure on yourself. So maybe you need to ease off a little bit. You might even need to bend this front knee in place, a little folded up towel or something under the knee. So I just always want to make sure that people understand, you know, you don't have to look, we don't have to look like one another when it comes around to yoga. We don't have to do it all in the textbook way. If, you know, you found a different method that works for you in your body, and as long as it's safe, and just keep practicing. All right, so I'm coming out now of my pose, and I'm going to make my way down to laying down on my mat. And just soaking up all the goodness from my practice. Close the eyes, let the eyes just rest down into the back of the head. And that's really important, is to take on board what feels good, it feels positive, it felt, you know, of use. And anything else that was in the class that maybe you didn't understand or didn't suit you and your body, just throw those things away. So I think it's really important that we're aware of the things that we take on board, not just in our yoga practice, but also we can use that for what we take on off the mat as well. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today. I'm going to leave you resting here on the floor, so that way you can get up whenever you're ready to come back into the real world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time for practice.